As promised, in studio with us, my gosh, like a celebrity, a big deal, Mr. Blake Williams. How are you, brother?
I'm doing good, man. How are you? You're the celebrity out here, not me. You're traveling the whole entire country, got a book out. I mean, come on.
Shaking hands and kissing babies. That's all I do. Blake, you are one of my favorite people. You are a guy that we had in our world at Hatch Realty for a while. You were one of our interns,
Yep,
right?
Absolutely. Loved every second of it.
Well, you ended up getting like the worst job for a while. And you were one of our runners, and that meant you were doing what?
I mean, I was just, I was breaking your van to start. I was going and just putting in signs and just kind of running keys different places, kind of doing whatever anyone else didn't want to do.
There's amazing errands that are involved in a business like ours where you think about putting up a real estate sign, doesn't sound like a massive process. But last I checked, the ground is totally frozen.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you're having to drill in there and take the 45-pound weight and have to smash them in and stuff, I mean, you might not know this, but there was more than just the car I broke. I broke so many of those posts trying to pound them in. I just bent the heck out of them.
Well, you brought up the car that you broke, and it should be known that as our runner, I get a call from you on a random Tuesday or something. And you're like, Eric? I'm like, yeah, what's up, Blake? You're like, I just smashed the window in the van because. If you don't know this, if you're not watching on video, if you're listening on radio, Blake is a former defensive lineman for the NDSU Bison and a big, strong dude. And you just close it. And you're like, I didn't close it any harder than I usually do.
No.
But Blake, you're stronger than everybody else, dude.
No, I mean, really, I just thought I had a nice little flick of the wrist. It was cold out, so I was trying to run back into the van. And then I just hear a shatter, and I was just like, that didn't sound very good at all. And then I was just standing there, and I was scared to call you because I was like, I'm going to get fired from being a runner? Like, really? Like, this is not good at all. But then, I called you. You're super nice. But, yeah, don't even worry about it. And the greatest thing about it was people at Great North, since that's where you're insured through, they were like, yeah, you're the guy who broke that? We had to file a claim because of you. And I was like, yeah, that was me.
How perfect. Look at the world as it turns, and now we've come full circle. Yeah, by the way, you still owe me for a window. I just want to get that out there. Blake, before we talk about insurance, which is like, insurance is one of those necessary evils, right?
Oh, yeah,
and we
exactly.
certainly want to pay close attention to it because there's a lot of snow out there, man. And we don't know what the spring is going to hold. It's too early to say if things are going to flood. But before we get there, you came to Fargo out of Michigan, out of the Detroit area, right?
Sir.
What made you come to Fargo?
I mean, it was really just being recruited by a couple different coaches. Actually, our coach Entz was a funny story about him. He was at my house in Western Illinois, purple and gold, a week before he got the job here, just saying like, wow, man, Western Illinois is such a great place. You got to come here. And then now he was the D coordinator at NDSU when my senior year after he turned over there. And he was like, no. You got to come to NDSU. Like, Western Illinois doesn't hold a candle to this. And then I came out here.
Which is true.
It's true. Yeah. No, I mean, hardly anyone does. I mean, honestly, that's kind of why I just came out here, just went to a game and kind of saw the fan support and just the people of Fargo, and I was sold immediately. I mean, it was just a really incredible feeling being in the Fargo Dome. I was there on a senior day, and everybody was just going wild. And I mean, and then afterwards, I was like, hey, I'll go play football there. They got some great fans. And then throughout my time there, fell in love with Fargo, just wanted to stay in the area.
And you played 4 full seasons. Yep.
Yeah, I played 4 full seasons, and I redshirted a year, so I got 5 rings, which never a bad thing.
5 rings. Does one go on your thumb?
Yeah, we made the just when we lost to JMU a few years back, we made the conference championship ring, just a little pinky ring, just.
Okay, that's fair. So you have 4 national championship rings.
Yeah,
that's so cool, Blake. You're not wearing any of them right now. I would wear those if I was a national champion for anything. I would wear a ring every single day, and I just make sure that the world knows.
Yeah, I don't know. Just to me, it's just wear them for special occasions, wear them to games, and when I'm seeing our old teammates back in Frisco and stuff.
You know what I have seen you do is I have seen you go out to the bar because I was with you down in Minneapolis for the Butler game, and you definitely had your ring on then because everybody buys you drinks then, man. It's pretty great.
I can't confirm or deny that, but no, I mean, it's just one of those situations. Whenever we're going to a big time game, all the players will all get together together, wear rings, and just kind of like, give back. And it's really cool.
I imagine it's like the Care Bears, and you just like let these signals out that everybody's drawn to.
Well, it's so cool because, we have so many of them now. What's there going to be, like 8 national championship rings out there? It's like, oh, it's like collectors. Which ones do you have? Oh, I got these 4 and then that one. Oh, you have the ones from the first
like your
few.
Pokemon cards.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just a really cool thing to see some older players there and be like, oh yeah, I was a freshman when you were a senior, and everything. So it's just really cool. I love wearing them out, seeing those guys.
Well, it's a special tribe that you've created, man. It's so incredible to be a fan of it and to be a supporter of it, from Hatch Cash to tailgating to you name it. I get a chance to feel like I'm still a part of it, even though I'm not a part of it. Like,
absolutely. Like, even when I was interning for you my senior year, I was playing and everything. You had the Hatch Cash going up on the board, and every single time that we scored and it popped up, Hatch Cash donate another like $500 to and everybody's like, hey Blake, that's your guy. I'm like, yes, sir. That's us.
That's why I didn't pay you that much, because I was giving it all to the United Way.
Hey, fair enough.
Blake, how was Frisco? I didn't go. You went.
Oh, yeah. Frisco was awesome. It was a completely different perspective this year, just kind of being there as not a player. You got to have, playing in the game was obviously the most fun. You can't ask for anything more than that, but you got to have a lot more fun leading up to it.
Yeah.
It's not just meetings and practice.
It's amazing hype, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And how many things are going on?
Yeah, absolutely. And once you get used to it, and as a player, it's kind of just the process going up to it. You kind of get used to all the different things, even though it does go by like a blur. But this year it was just kind of, the whole time I was just sitting there like, wow, this is wild. Just all the NDSU fans down there, and just they're putting up flags and bars for all the NDSU guys, and I've heard stories about how those things happen, but actually seeing it was pretty wild.
The dedication that people have to support that is just so special. And we talked about tribes, right? There's the NDSU tribe that's huge. You're now part of the Great North tribe with some people who I massively love and respect, and it's where my wife and I and our personal business as well, where we choose to get all of our support for insurance. And so I think you're aligned with the right people. I can say that with confidence. Boy, it's wet out there though, Blake, isn't it?
It sure is.
What do homeowners need to know?
So basically, I would say the biggest thing as far as it being wet out there right now is that if you don't have a flood policy on your house, any water coming in isn't just covered by your normal home policy. That's kind of really the biggest thing, because a lot of people just don't know that. They think, I got home insurance, I'm covered, and, water's coming in through the window well from the snow melting. It's not. You really need a separate policy. They're normally pretty inexpensive. You can get them for $500 to $700 on the year, which broken down monthly, really it's kind of worth
40
it.
50 $60.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing with it is you can't have them go into effect immediately. There's a 30-day waiting period.
So I can't see that the impending flood is here and it's going to come April 15th. So on April 10th, I buy my flood policy.
Yeah.
That won't work.
No, that won't work. We have people calling us last year kind of in the middle of March just saying, hey, this is starting to get really wet out here. Can I get a flood policy? And we're like, yeah, absolutely. It's going to take 30 days to take effect. If just looking at all the snow that's out there now and all the snow we got last year. But last year we kind of had a really gradual heat up. It was pretty slow. This year, if we have one day that gets up to 40 or 50, there's going to be a lot of houses in trouble. I was just watching a news article on it last night, and it's scary just because, as a person, obviously 99% of the time your home is going to be your most valued asset. And then all of a sudden, just something as crazy as our Fargo weather can just cost thousands of dollars in the basement. So it's pretty important to just try and get the flood policy if you can get it.
Now's the time, isn't it? Now's the time. It's January. It's not going to flood today or tomorrow, and there's certainly options of flood policies too. Some can give you more coverage than others. Your deductible can change, that sort of thing. Blake, if people want to talk to you about this, because floods are such a big deal, and they haven't been. It's been pretty quiet around Fargo, but I've lived here my whole life. You probably don't know the chaos that it was in '97 and '99 and 2001, and it shakes our entire community, and it rallies, but it shakes, and people need to protect their house, and insurance is one of the best ways to do so.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, there's different ways you can offset the actual cost of it. You can raise the deductibles, you can take certain coverages and everything, but the most important thing is just to have something there, so if something catastrophic does happen, you'll be covered. And you might be out, if you decide to go a higher deductible, $2,000, but $2,000 at the end of the day is a lot better than, the 25
An
to 30
entire
grand.
wrecked basement.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. I mean, I know a lot of people who've had to replace some different things in their basement, all the carpet, drywall, and I mean, that adds up so quickly.
Yes, it does. Blake, great having you in studio. If people want to go to your website to get connected with y'all, what's your website so they can learn about flood insurance and get connected with Great North Insurance?
Well, so we're on all the social media, and we're always the first, the one that pops up if you just Google Great North Insurance Services and everything. So I would say, even just going to our website directly, you can do that. You can get our number, call in. I mean, there's just so many different ways you can get to us. We always are available 24/7 on our Facebook account. We have Twitter and everything. So if you guys want to reach out to us, there's always going to be an easy way for it. Just look us up.
Well, appreciate having you in studio with us, Blake. We're going to go to break, but in the meantime, check out hatchrealty.com to see all the screaming deals on the market. This is Real Estate Radio with Erik Hatch.